crawling out of my fucking skin tonight. Stage a set. Last bang came up for a ride. We're gonna start a fire. The back room has a single sail beer. Don't let ice me off and get stuck in gear. Come on boys, we're on.
Welcome to the first episode of Just Shootin' the Ship, the long-form version of what I began on Let's Grumble. In this episode, I'll try my luck at playing some random matches, pretend I know what I'm doing in an old Russian cruiser, make predictions that are probably wrong, and complain about the blue team. But first, we're going to take a look at a ship that I believe is way underrated. Ah yes, phony baloney Russian battleships. We all hate them except for Wargaming. Wargaming fucking loves these things. They love to just make up fucking battleships that never existed for the Russian Navy, and just make them really, 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 really overpowered. But as much as I usually hate these Russian battleships, this one is probably one of my favorites, honestly, and I don't think it gets enough appreciation or love that it really should get. Yeah, we're talking the Navarin here. The Navarin, the Guns of Navarin. I don't know what it's how it's supposed to be pronounced. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I doubt the Russians even know how to pronounce. No, they do. This is actually based on a. The ship's name is actually it's taken from an old battleship that was a legit real one. Why they couldn't give us that and instead they gave us this, I'll never understand. But this is no slouch of a ship. A lot of people hate on this thing for some reason, and I really don't get it because it's honestly a really, really nice ship. And we'll get into that. I mean, it lives entirely in the land of make-believe, but I don't know, in a good way, it's a very capable ship. Alright, so let's look into the overview of it. February 1914, work on a new battleship design commenced, with primary focus being 16-inch guns in quadruple turrets. Secondary battery was just 5-inch guns. Just call it for what it is. At the center line, because of the outbreak of World War I, none of the ships were designed or laid out. Yeah, that is par for the fucking course with just about all these Russian battleships. This would have been built right before the Bolshevik Revolution, so I suppose if this had been built, it would have been one of those dirty commie ships. But I'm going to say this is an Imperial design. It's still, it's before the Soviets started fucking things up, so odds are probably would have been a good ship had they built it. Honestly, in the game, it's fucking awesome. It says it's got good secondary reach. It says it's got 360-degree turrets. That is very helpful. And the concealment is good. The concealment is okay. For a battleship, it's alright. But the main thing here is, and I think this is why it gets so much hate, they really touted this thing as oh, it's got great secondaries. Oh, yeah, it's a great brawler. You should build it as a brawler. This thing sucks as a brawler. I don't know. If you're really good at brawling, it might be okay. I suck at brawling, so I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. But let's go over this. Well, actually, let me just show you. I don't have any of the upgrades for this ship yet. I've had it for years. I just haven't done any of the upgrades. I know, big favorite ship. I have a weird way of doing things, folks. But here's the thing. For the mods, yeah, your options aren't super good. You could build into the secondaries, but I would probably focus on helping with dispersion a little bit more, because this thing has some really wonky dispersion. So there's that. Also, turret speed might be handy. Honestly, I'd probably go with turret speed on this thing, because these turrets are pretty slow, although they are 360, so that is helpful. And honestly, if you're in a battleship, you should be planning out your shots anyways. Yeah, it's kind of a tough call here. I honestly don't know which one I'm going to go with. They're all good options. Really, they are. But let's look at the secondary slot, steering gear, propulsion, or damage control. I would go damage control. I know everyone loves propulsion, and that's not a bad thing. Honestly, this thing is slow as fuck. But, again, it's slow as fuck anyways. This is just going to help you accelerate a little bit faster. You've got limited damage control parties. So fire duration and flooding duration being reduced, yeah, that's what I would go with, honestly, because you're probably going to get set on fire and deal with some flooding quite a bit in this ship. Third slot, you could help with the dispersion. The RGA of ships is, I wouldn't bother with it. The concealment, though, is where I would go. Incoming fire dispersion, it's not going to help you a lot. You're a giant-ass battleship, and this thing is fucking huge. But the detectability range is going to help. You're already a good concealed ship. Alternatively, you could take these chromium-plated barrels, but God, this fucking blows. I mean, main battery dispersion minus 5%. Aiming system, main battery dispersion minus 7%. Why would you even take this? This is garbage for this fucking slot. Go with concealment. Ignore chromium-plated barrels. It might help in this situation, just give you a little extra boost, but nah, just stick with concealment. As far as secondary, as far as the fourth slot, main battery, AAs, and secondary, you don't need a lot of help with your AAs with this ship, believe it or not. You could go with reload time. That might help. It's going to slow your turrets down, but secondary battery reload time, useless. I'm probably going to go with the reload time. Honestly, even the AA thing might be a little bit more helpful. I mean, it does help with cooldown for consumables, so hey, that's a bonus, but actually, that might not be bad. Now I'm thinking about it, AA mod might be the way to go on this thing. It does have good AA. Alright, so let's get into some stats here. Survivability, it's got great armor. This thing's got fucking amazing armor. It's got really decent hit points. The damage reduction for tier 8s for your torpedoes isn't that great, but the fire resistance is, let's just call it for what it is. It's standard. Your main battery, alright, bear in mind, wait, hold on. I should probably go over the commander before I go through stats. Alright, so everyone's going to want to go, in fact, even fucking Wargaming suggests, you need to go with Mikhail Kedrov because he's the brawler commander and this is a brawler ship. Yeah, you can do that. You can expand your secondaries out. You can, use the brawler thing to get your reload time down. You can use Porcupine to get buff the secondary range and the grouping. And, you can do properly meticulous, or you could get an extra repair party charge. This is fine. This is great for a brawler. And I suppose if you're good at brawling, maybe that's what you want to do. Not me, though. I suck at brawling. I don't really like brawling. I'm going to go with old, boring Nikolay von Essen, because that is what I do. Old and boring. That is my mission statement, folks. So, with this, I mean, here's the thing. Minimum ricochet angles of your ship's shells, plus 3%. You can get it up to plus 4. Is it a tremendous help? No, but you're going to ricochet a little bit less, so that's nice. As far as the first slot, burn it down XXL, or contact is imminent. Now, they really tout this thing's ability to start fires, but if you're playing a battleship and you're starting fires, you're probably doing it wrong. Your focus with this thing, honestly, should be its AA guns, because it's got damn good AA guns, and they all just kind of gloss over that. Alright, so I'm going to go with the no-fly zone. Basically, beef up my anti-aircraft, because honestly, at tier 8, you're going to be dealing with a lot of aircraft carriers, potentially, tier 7s and legendaries. So you're going to want AA. Not to mention with all the fucking Dutch cruisers with their planes and the hybrid battleships now, you're just going to want AA. So that's the way I'd go. This is kind of a tough call right here. Torpedo acquisition, it's not bad, but I'm not going to go for it. Turret speed, though, that would be tremendously helpful because this thing has slow turrets. I mean, it's a battleship. But it's also got 360, don't forget that. It doesn't take forever to get all the way around. And like I said, it's a battleship. You should be planning out your shots anyway. Now, I'm going to go with, look at me now, it's got decent detectability. This will give you a little bit more of an edge with it. That's where I would go. Again, they're probably going to say, wow, you need to have the turret spinning. No, you don't really need to have the turret spinning with this thing. As far as the force slot, yeah, don't have torpedoes, don't have torpedo bombers. Collective labor gives you an extra damage control charge. And I can't stress that enough. That is so handy with these Russian battleships because they have a limited amount of repairs. That's what, honestly, I don't know why you would take anything else at this tier. Or I should say for a Russian ship. Or a Russian battleship, anyway. Alright, so finally, none of these would apply, so obviously reaching out XXL, get you some extra range. It ain't much, but it's extra range. It's really only your option down here. As far as this, we could do will to rebuild. Would be probably pretty handy for this ship. Unstoppable. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of engine damage with this ship, but it might be helpful. But fully packed. Consumable charges +1. That's going to give you yet another repair charge. So yeah, I mean that's what you'd want. You're going to want as many repair charges on this thing as possible because you're going to get set on fire. You're going to take flooding. You're a battleship. You ought to be doing it. If you're not doing any of those, you're doing it wrong. All right, so I'm building into these AP guns because we're going to take auto ciliacs, basically boost its shell damage for the AP, which is going to help. And then I'm taking Robert Jojard, Battleship's AP penetration multiplier. That'll help. So we're going to get better penetration. Now, with 16-inch guns, you probably don't need that better penetration, but it's going to come in handy. It really will, and especially if you play it right. So essentially, my whole thing here is you want good angles on your shells, and you want the shells to be able to penetrate and do some damage. Fuck the HE. The HE is fine, but it's not the end-all, be-all. Now you see, we got this thing up to 5 repair charges off of what it would normally be is just 3. So that's how I would play it. Fuck Mikhail Kedrov. You could do the same thing with him because I think he also has collective labor and fully packed, but that's where I would go with this. That's what I do with this anyways. You can do your own thing. I don't fucking care what you do. So in the specs, I already covered the survivability. Let's get into the main battery. 16-inch guns, 3 turrets with quadruple, guns. That's nice. It's really nice. Your range is decent with this ship. You're not like hitting the super long ranges, but here's the thing with this ship. Your fucking reload is slow as fuck, and your main battery turret time. There are slower turrets, but man, this is up there. It's a battleship. But your real suffering here, I mean, you're talking about a 1914 design. We're talking old guns. So, yeah, your grouping's going to be fucking pitiful. And yeah, that's going to suffer quite a bit. But, your maximum HE shell damage, well, yeah, that's nice. 41% chance, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's honestly really good. But 11,000, and we got this boofed up to 11,413. or 1100, 413. That's good. That's damn good. Armor penetration, look at that. 800 millimeter. That's point blank. You've got to pretty much be at them. But even at max range, 512 millimeters, you're going to penetrate everything with this. Just about everything, anyway, I should say. And, you know, helping with your minimum ricochet angle, that's gonna help as well. So, yeah, the AP shells, that's the way to go. Honestly, in most battleships, you should be running AP most of the time anyways. Secondary armament, this is the big thing that they really tout up, the 5-inch, the 5-inch secondaries. They got a decent firing range, 7 kilometers. Honestly, for tier 8, that's a little bit good, but not super wonderful. You can get these up there really high, but who cares? The reload time, like I said, I'm not focusing on this. Your HE shell damage for these guns is not bad. And same as the fire setting chances, it's pretty decent. You got a lot of these guns, which is handy. But honestly, this is more of a defensive measure than an offensive measure. Your AAs are really good in this. Granted, I beefed them up a bit, but man, I love when they put these, you know, modern dual-purpose guns on these ships, because, I mean, alright, you've only got like 16 of them, but they're really helping. And then you got your other AA defenses here, your 23mm guns, your 37mm guns. You've got an obscene amount of them. They basically just loaded this motherfucker up with machine guns to shoot at planes. I should say rapid fire guns to shoot at planes. So, AA, that's where it's really strong. It's got some great fucking AA. They never really tout up the AA for this thing, but it's not quite Rochester levels of AA, but it's decent. Now, granted, you're not always going to come across the need for AA, but it's not bad. Wrong button. Wrong button. First day ever playing a PlayStation, folks. Alright, maneuverability, it's slow. It's a battleship. It takes forever to turn. It takes a lot to turn. It stinks. Maneuverability sucks. It's a design from 1914. Kind of think of this as a Russian semi-equivalent of a Vermont. Basically, a really big design, way ahead of its time, but with ancient tech that's probably not going to be super helpful. Concealment, oh man, this is the thing they really tout up. Oh, it's very hidden. Yeah, it's hidden. It's a battle fucking ship. You're going to see it from space. But for considering it is a battleship, you got some decent concealment here. Your area of engagement on this thing is pretty damn decent. It's nearly 3 kilometers that you can actually get within to see them before they can see you, so you can get some nice surprise shots off. And with as long as it takes this fucker to reload, good chance you're going to disappear before you're getting your next shot, so you can align it well. That's kind of the nice thing about having slow reloading guns, is you can take the time to aim your stuff, unless, you know, you've got something actively engaging you pretty close up. Which isn't a bad thing either with this ship. Alright, so armor-wise, god damn. Alright, so look at this fucker. I mean, purples, oranges, reds, this is what we love to see. Fuck that teal superstructure, but that's pretty standard for superstructure. Oh, at least they got the conning tower all safe. That way the admiral can sip his tea and not worry about getting shot. You know, it's heaven forbid. Anyways, get that fucking superstructure out of there. Who cares? Alright, so you got well-protected turrets. You got a really good armor belt. And that's the thing that's beautiful about this ship. As opposed to a lot of the Russian battleships in this game, great fucking side protection. Now granted, you can get some plunging fire that's going to do some damage, because that deck is not super great. 75 mils, yeah, they can penetrate your deck. So if you get some plunging fire, you're in trouble. but it's going to be tough for them to get you if you are close on. Like, this thing is really built for brawling, but I don't like brawling. The torpedo detection or protection is nothing to write home about. It stinks. Its bow, fairly standard, nothing to write home about, but look at that. You got some decent armor up there for the bulkheads, or I should say the athwart ships, which is nice. All right, so let's take that out. Yeah, you got good citadel protection here. It's not super, but I mean, it's also got this. So, yeah, like I said, you can get some plunging fire that are going to hit your citadel. But you got good AA to fight off the AP bombers. And, yeah, I don't know. You could take some plunging fire, and that might be a bit of a trouble. But your turrets are well protected. Basically, you're dealing with a citadel that's not impossible to hit, but pretty reasonable. Honestly, I don't get citadeled in this thing very, very often. It happens, but you got a nice bunch of hit points. It's not that bad. But yeah, that's the armor scheme on this thing. Like I said, man, you're looking at some decent armor. These turrets are not going to get taken out anytime soon, and that's always a good thing, unless they plunge through the top. But even then, you got pretty decent turrets. The nice thing is that full circle thing. That's really nice. People just hate on this ship because I think that Wargaming really, really played this thing up as like a brawler that sets fires, and it's got great AP. It can fight at range. I mean, it can't fight at long range. This is more of a medium range ship, if anything. The nice thing is you do have good secondaries. And if you get a destroyer that wants to get handsy with you, you got a decent deterrent against it. Now, I wouldn't go rushing into battle with this thing, and that's kind of the problem that I think a lot of people see. Then again, it's slow, so you're going to want to take it in. You're not going to want to just, run in there all the time, is kind of my point. But yeah, it's a good ship. It's a good ship. I don't see why people are always trashing on it. It's nice. It's very good. It's honestly one of my favorite Tier 8 ships. This is one of my favorites. I love this thing. I love this thing so much I bought it twice. Look at that. I even have the Mataga. It's the fancy version of it that has no benefits other than, ooh, look, it's gold. It's gold. Sorry, folks, I got mesmerized by all the pretty gold. Anyway, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright, but yeah, Navarin, good ship. Let's take a look at a battle and see how I do in it. Eh? Oh, just look at those beautiful Guns of Navarin. The Guns of Navarin. Boy, alright, if you haven't seen the movie The Guns of Navarin, check it out. I know it's an old movie. I know it's tacky and old and doesn't have any, John Cena or anything in it. But, no, check out The Guns of Navarin. Damn good movie. Fucking amazing movie. Don't check out the sequel. The sequel fucking sucked. But definitely check out The Guns of Navarin. Is this fucking ship going to do anything? Ah, damn it. I'm just sitting over here playing with myself again, it looks like. Because it doesn't look like this cruiser is going to do anything. Well, fuck it. I guess I'll move in. That is the thing with this ship. It is very slow. I know I say, I don't brawl, don't brawl with it because it's not that, it's an okay brawler, but I suck at brawling. The fact is with this ship, especially on a map this large, you have to be moving forward because this thing is fucking slow. I mean, it's a battleship. They're all fucking slow, but hey, that destroyer, that cruiser's finally fucking moving. Are we going to move in here? Are we going to do the thing? Oh, shut up, Wisconsin. We all fucking know where the aircraft carrier is. Fucking dummy. Fucking Wisconsin. Hate that state. And if you're out there from Wisconsin, God, I'm sorry, man. It must suck to live in Wisconsin. I know whenever I go to Wisconsin, there's only one place I like to get. There's only one place I like to go. And that's the fuck out of Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Haters Club will be right back. Alright, so I guess this destroyer is just going to abandon flank. That kind of checks. Now, you'll notice that I'm not rushing to A like a complete fucking imbecile. I'm going to at least kind of weave my way in around this island. Because, like I said, you know, this thing's got a pretty decent armor belt, but you can still take damage. And, oh man. Alright, so, the thing that's, it does suck because, like, I want to shoot shit, but everything is just out of range. Well, I guess the enemy isn't even going for A. Fuck it, I guess I'll go get A. Why not? Because apparently no one else is going to. And there's our cruiser hiding behind a fucking island. I mean, I get it, you know, some destroyers you kind of have to do that shit, but there's no one near you, man. Just fucking engage the enemy somehow. Bob and weave, you know? That's what I do. I'm in a big fucking battleship and I'm bobbing and weaving. The fucking slowest fucking ship known to man. Didn't even exist, by the way. Well, it existed on paper, I guess, if you want to take Wargaming's word for it. I'm still convinced that they're just making, like, these ships up off the top of their head sometimes. They're just like, oh yeah, the Russians had, like, a super fucking battleship that had, like, 16-inch guns, and they were going to do it back in World War I, and it was going to be the cat's ass, and it was going to blow everything out of the water. Yeah, that's what they did. If you didn't know, folks, all the Russian battleships in this game, except for 3, I think it's 3, all but 3 of them do not exist. Never did, never will. You got the Ganget. That was a legit ship. You got October Revolution. That hardly counts. Ooh, nice. We finally got a hit on someone. It did. I don't think it did any damage, though. Which is fucked. That had to have done damage. Is it just that, like, the sky is obscuring the number there? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I just suck. That's probably what's going on. But yeah, you got the Ganget, you got the October Revolution, that is basically just the Ganget after the dirty commies got their hands on her and, threw a big wing on the back and some big fucking slicks and, you know, made it look as tacky as fuck. But, what's the other one? Oh yeah, the Emperor Nikolay the First. Which is arguably not a real ship, but technically it's... Hey, we finally got some damage! Oh my god, 5 minutes in, we finally got some damage, folks. Here I am touting up how great the Navarin is, and I am just kind of dicking the dog here. I don't think our team's going to win this. We're 3 ships down to their 2. It's not, I don't like the look of it. Our destroyers are already out. That ain't good. But no, Emperor Nikolay the First, technically it existed. It was never completed. Also, it doesn't look a thing, well, I should say, they took a lot of liberties with how they think it would look. At least I've heard anyways. I don't know. I'm honestly not an expert on old Russian battleships, believe it or not. It's funny because I'm an expert on a lot of stuff. U.S. World War I Colliers, oh man, I could write a fucking book on that shit. Russian battleships, that's how uninteresting Russian battleships are. I shouldn't say that. I'm certain there are some interesting Russian battleships. I know I've seen people make videos on them. It sounds like they're an interesting shit show. Honestly, anything the Soviets got their hands on was always a shit show. It really was. God damn, fucking Russia sucks. They're just terrible. They're really, really bad at anything. Even the Imperial Navy, I know, like the Imperial Navy was way better than the Soviet Navy. Even the Imperial Navy kind of sucks. They had a few good ships. But here's the thing: the Imperial Navy is like all tier 1, 2, and maybe some 3. Imperator Nikolay is technically a tier 4, so yeah, I guess we got that going for us. But the Imperial designs, I would say, were probably better for their state in the world at the time. I should say, in their time, they were pretty decent ships. Obviously, by World War II in the interwar period, they were laughably outdated because the Soviets were making ships, or at least, like doing tacky shit like, I don't know, hot gluing fucking studs and shit onto their fucking ships. I don't know what this Russians did. The fact is the Soviets weren't good at ship design. Or actually, one would almost assume that they were very good at ship design. They just weren't very good at building ships. Actually, the one ship that I find to be the most interesting of the phony baloney Russian ships here, I mean, other than Navarin, I love this ship. This is a damn good ship. I know I'm shooting AP at a Minagumo, but it takes like 30 seconds to reload these guns. I don't want to switch because I am constantly turning and switching back and forth. That Minagumo is like playing a pretty decent game of cat and mouse, I'll admit. Honestly, I'm pretty certain the other team's going to win this at this point because we're kind of neck and neck, although they still have a destroyer, and it looks like whoever's playing the Minagumo is actually like not doing that bad of a job. They are kind of in hostile territory right now, so that kind of sucks for them, to our benefit. I don't think this aircraft carrier is actually where it was last spotted. Oh, I would love to fucking shoot it. The fact is I can't. Wargaming took your spotting function away, aircraft carrier. God, the early days of aircraft carriers were so fucking good. I miss those so much. Because, I mean, you could just bird dog destroyers. Oh, it was so fun. Wow, okay, wow. We're down to 4 on 4 now. It looks like we might be capping a second base. We might have a shot at this. We're still down in points, but... Ooh, is this going to hit the lion? Oh, love is a lie. Well, we got a couple hits. God, we're still... 10 minutes in, we've barely cracked 20,000 damage. This is sad. But to be fair, like I was saying before, this is a medium-range ship. You don't want to get too far away. You don't want to get too close. Where we are with this rune is probably the perfect distance. But man, everything's been like right out of range for us this match. And of course, the dispersion and the grouping on this ship sucks so fucking bad. But still, you'll notice I am hitting shit. So it's not the end of the world. You got 12 fucking shells flying through the air every time you get a full salvo off, and it's not that hard to get a full salvo in this thing. The 360 turrets really fucking help too. As you can see, like, our turrets are slower than shit, but I'm usually getting them, like, about on board. I don't even think I did it much to improve the turret time. So, I mean, like I was saying before with the main battery module in slot 1, or I should say the main battery, yeah, it is the module in slot 1. Oh, I oversteered. Oh, no. Luckily, it was an aircraft carrier torpedo that didn't do much damage. Yeah, we're probably gonna win this. God, I'm probably like worst on the team. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of dead players on this team. We might do okay. They're only down to two play. Oh, it's a D7. That's gonna be rough. These things are hard to hit, hard to spot, and so it's basically 2 aircraft carriers we're playing against. I don't think you're gonna make it D7. Hey, we got the kill! Holy shit, I can't believe it. Totally stole that from someone. You know, I would feel guilty, but they are on the blue team, and fuck those guys. That's what I always say. Implacable. Ugh. You know, I'm just gonna say I fucking hate British aircraft carriers. Mainly just because they got fucked up names. They really do. The names that the British come up with for their ships are just, they're kind of fucked. Like, implacable, informidable, indomitable, abominable. Whoa, shit, holy fuck, someone took him out. Yeah, I don't think that we did that good. I mean, less than 30,000. Holy shit, we might have turned a profit on this match. I can't fucking believe it. Holy shit, 3rd from the top. Man, this is another case where they must have really, really sucked. Oh my god, holy shit. It's pretty sad when I put in a half-ass performance. 31,000 points of damage. I got 3rd from the top. And we still won. How the fuck does that happen? Alright, so that is Navarin. That is my ship de month. I like this ship. People don't like it. I decided I wanted to feature it for the ship of the month this episode because it's a woefully underplayed ship, in my opinion. It's a damn good ship. I don't know why people are like, oh, this ship sucks. I don't like this ship. I'd rather play the Soyuz Suvov. I hate it because the Navarin's a damn good ship, and I just don't see all the hate for it. I really don't. Anyways, folks, that was my look at the Navarin. A true diamond in the rough, if I've ever seen one. Even though this wasn't really a good match to show off her talents. But, yeah, it's a good ship. Play it every now and then. Honestly, if you want to get it, you're probably SOL because it was a campaign ship. Oh, I want to say in either October or November of the year before last. So it pops back in every now and then. You definitely get it out of, I think, a Super 8 crate you can get it out of. But if you don't have it, get it if you can. And if you get it, don't sell it because, God, dude, don't ever sell your ships. Only fucking idiots sell their ships. You're never going to be that hard up for fucking silver. I don't care. Just play some matches. Win some silver. Don't sell your ships. Alright, folks, so remember how I said we were going to play some random battles? Well, this is how we're going to pick them. Look, I considered doing a wheel. We did one for Twisted Metal on Let's Grumble, but I wanted to be a bit different, and honestly, the wheel's been done for this game. I wanted to come up with something different. And what better to represent the nature of this game than a slot machine? Now, I will admit, this is an early build of the ship machine, so it's not quite got all the ships I have on the reels. I'm still working on the new one. You'll probably see that in a month or so if I can be bothered to find the time to really crunch down and get it where I want it. So anyways, we're going to spin the reels, and then I'll play the ships, and at the end we'll see how I did. Probably do pretty bad, but here goes nothing. Well, I guess we'll start things out in the ship from Harlem. Oh man. Got my Coast Guard cutter skin, so that's kind of cool. Let's see if I can do anything with a tier 7 Dutch cruiser that isn't D7 Provincian. Oh yeah, got my planes out, got my guns out, got my high explosive, got my orange crush. I'm locked, cocked, and ready to go, as the Dutch would say. I don't know if they say that. I'm assuming they do. Oh man, the Dutch. Ship from Harlem. Or Harlem. Alright, so yeah, this is always the part of the match I hate, when it's, you know, like, well, where's the enemy? Are they going to spot me before I spot them? Although, honestly, look at the fucking concealment look at the area engagement on this ship. It's fucking amazing. Now, do I want to shit? That Palmern doesn't even look like it's awake. It might be. I don't know. Well, I gave my position away anyway. Well, hopefully one of those hits and does something. Yeah, they did. Okay. Ha! Missed me. Oh, there. Speaking of D7 Provincian, just out of range to mother. That's okay. That means he's probably. I'm probably out of his range too. So I'm probably not going to be dealing with carpet bombers just yet anytime. God, the Dutch airstrikes are so fucking busted. They really are. I mean, if you can hit with them good, you're... Ooh, this might have promise. Alright, well, I got an incapacitation anyways. Didn't do any damage, but, I suppose that helps. You're going down, Ziff 6. Ah, set him on fire. Oh, yeah. Alright, he's gone. He's out of here. We can focus on other shit. Oh, here come some planes. That must be D7. I think he was trying to hit me, that rat bastard. Ha! Too fast for you. You're no match for the ship from Harlem. But I tell you, I kind of wish that, you know, like, I love that they I love that they sold us all these really beautiful Dutch skins. I wish they would have given one to D7 Provincian and Gelderland. Those are the only two Dutch ships that don't have this paint scheme, and it's a goddamn shame. Because honestly, the regular Dutch paint, it fucking blows. It looks like orange gingham. Although, honestly, it does look pretty good on the Nevada if you want to do that whole, like, Bikini Atoll, you know, cosplay with the ship, you know. That's kind of fun. Oh, the Dalian. Oh, the Gas Cogni. Oh, the old pomade. Oh, man. Are we going to be up? Yeah, oh, no. Oh, no. A few of those shells didn't make it over, but a lot of them did. Alright, I don't think... Yeah, he's going for that air... He's going for the, he's going for that cruiser. Wonder if he'll hit. Oh, yeah, it looks like he hit. Oh, D7. Oh, damn, stupid mountains. Although, honestly, I can't complain too much. I've been lucky with getting those shots between those mountains. Of course, I'm not lucky with fucking hitting them. That'd have been nice. No, still nowhere near it. Petropavlos got hit again. Not by much, though, honestly. Our team's not doing too bad. I mean, we're down 2 battleships. They're probably the dumb ones that are like, oh, I'm gonna go get a fight. I'm a brawler, you know, and all that shit. So, I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't complain. I've been there. I know what it's like when you've played so many matches, you know, one night that you're just like, you know, I'm just gonna rush. Fuck it. Ah, well, we hit him with 1 shot anyways. God, you know, all right, on the plus side, these are pretty long shots that we're hitting. It is kind of cool. This is like one of those matches where no one really wants to engage the other team. We just want to stand on our side of the islands and, you know, chuck rocks at each other. But, man, I don't know. Not a terrible match. I mean, we're over 5 minutes in. I've only got 10,000. Well, I got up to 11,000 points of damage now. This is gonna be a sweet match. I tell you what. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I am doing this. I fired it up. This is the only match that I did. I could just do like, well, I'm going to do 3 and I'm going to do the best of 3. And honestly, I kind of thought about doing that at first, but I'm like, you know what, this will be more interesting if I just play it straight. You know, just like, all right, let's pick up a ship and see what I can do. And so far, not very good. I don't know. I'm doing better than those battleships. Oh, and we're down a cruiser. I'm betting... No, I don't think it's the Petropavlovsk. I think he's still here. Although, God, I'm getting ballsy. I'm getting up there. Oh, I'm getting way too close to that Gascon. Oh, yeah, D7. It's personal, bud. There can be only one at tier 7, bud. My plane strikes are bigger than yours. I got more of them. No, actually, I think D7 can do way more airstrikes than Harlem can. In Secession, I mean. It feels that way anyway. Ooh, Georgia, sweet Georgia. Alright, now they're capping the base. Now we gotta actually do something. One of them actually decided to come over and try to do something, so this might be... And as usual, he's hiding like a little bitch in the fucking fog. And he's gonna blind fire me now, I'm betting. Oh yeah, he's gonna still keep trying to hit me blind firing. And he'll probably do it. I don't know what... Obviously, it's a destroyer of some sort. God damn. Alright, well, I am spotted again, so... Alright, let's see if I can hit that Georgia with my carpet bombs. Well, your torpedoes are gonna miss anyways. I mean, hasn't stopped every fucking shell that you fired at me from missing. Ooh, nice! Didn't get the kill, but still, did quite a bit of damage. I don't think I'm long for this world, folks. At least this ought to be kind of a short match, I guess. Wow. Riga, 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 Riga. Another Russian fucking cruiser. That's all this game is, they ought to just call this World of Russian Cruisers. Because that's what it's turning into. Oh, well. At least I didn't die, I guess. I guarantee we lost. Oh, yeah, we lost. Hey, 3rd from the top. I can't complain about that. Still lost. Well, I guess it's time for the old Molotov cocktail. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Russian fucking cruisers. I don't know. You know, actually, I kind of like the Molotov. I think it's kind of funny because you got Molotov and Makarov. Both like tier 5... premium Russian cruise. Are you gonna fucking move? Okay, about fucking time. I hate these destroyers that fucking dick the dog on actually getting into the match and doing anything. But no, there's two Russian tier 5 premium cruisers. that start with M. They're pretty much right next to each other. I always get the two confused because Makarov is basically the Nuremberg. It literally is the Nuremberg, but for Russia, when it was with Russia. So I got to play it like that, except for you would assume that, I always assume Molotov. That's the one you start fires with. No, Makarov's the one you start fires with. Molotov is the one you shoot AP with. Because it's got really good AP. What can I say? Oh, my sore, you gonna be sore. You're gonna be sore. Well, actually, wait. Oh, maybe my sore will be sore. Oh, how sore was my Mysore? Not very sore. Only 2,500 sore. Yeah, take that island. Fuck you. Oh, lag. God damn it. They need to do something about these fucking servers. It's been pretty bad. I mean, it's better than it was last update, but god damn. I can't tell you how many matches I've been in and it's all of a sudden like I lose complete control of my ship. And that's the worst thing too. So like you realize that you can't fire your guns, and then it's only a matter of time. You're now like, all right, well I'm getting the server is gonna drop me, but I have to sit here and wait. And then you get the fucking you get the splash screen of death. It's all like, oh no, you've been disconnected. Then you reload, and then you finally get back into your match. You're pretty much you're watching your stern go down because while you were out, you know, someone fucking kicked your ass or torpedoed your ass. God, New Mexico ain't doing good. God, this match is kind of moving along pretty fast. We're doing better than we were in the Harlem, I could say that much. Russian cruisers, the sit back and snipe ships. The only time you should ever use your torpedoes in this thing is, well, if you're pretty much already dead because they're that close already. I wonder if we can hit this Asashio. I don't know. I don't think those are gonna hit. I don't like the look of it. No. Well, at least I tried. I'll probably hit the island again. I'm betting on that one. Well, I don't know what I hit, but I didn't hit the Asashio. That's for fucking certain. About the only nice thing about the torpedoes on these Russian cruisers is that you have them. And hear me out, folks. This is a little trick that I've learned over the years. If you see a distant ship and you can't tell whether it's coming at you or whether it's backing up, because sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, target them with your torpedoes. Even if they're way out of range, it'll show basically where they're going to be by the time the torpedoes get there. And if it's a larger number than where their current range is, hey, asshole, I'm driving here. Are you fucking stupid? You're in a fucking destroyer. You're way more maneuverable than I am. Jesus Christ. What a fucking loser. Matsu. I don't like that. Activate my sonar, because I think some torpedoes might be coming for me right around the bend here. Alright, I am spotted. God, this sucks, because I got, like, the locator to see where they are, but the fact is there's two of them, so it keeps bouncing back and forth between the two because they're both about the same. I'll throw some torpedoes out and hope for the best. But no, you can use the torpedo kind of the hit indicator to tell whether they're advancing towards you or backing up. That is extremely handy. You can also kind of do it with your guns, except for it won't work for head-on as much as it'll work if they're off in the distance, slowly moving one way or the other. You can kind of see by like re-aiming, because the autofocus isn't wonderful, but it'll get you kind of in the ballpark. But if it starts putting you to the one side of the ship, you're like, okay, they're backing up now. It's come to this. I'm using high explosives in the Molotov. At least I set a fire. Ha! Old Molotov still got some fight in him. It is funny, honestly, if you've ever seen the movie The Death of Stalin, which I highly recommend, it's funny as hell. It's every time I see the character Molotov in that, I think of this ship. It's like, oh, Molotov still got some fight in him. It is kind of funny how many characters from that movie I'm watching. I'm like, I think there's a Russian ship named after that guy. Because I'm pretty certain. Yeah, Molotov's in it. Miko Yan is in it. Those are the only two I could think off my head. They have a lot of M names in Russia for their cruisers. Although, honestly, it's better than all the fucking legendaries. You motherfucker, Charles Hughes, get the fuck out of my way. Jesus Christ. It's like the guy's trying to fucking run into me. I'm trying to chase down a fucking Asashio here. Do you mind? I actually want to... I mean, granted, the match is almost over. I mean, we've won. There's no doubt about it. We're going to win this fucker. Unless my team does something extraordinarily dumb, like maybe that one battleship that we have that lost. But I don't know. I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. He went out like a champ. He went out like a... No, fuck it. He's on the blue team. Man, he probably fucking like, I'm going to go and rush the battle. Because he's on the blue team. Naturally, that's what they do, folks. That's what they do. The red team, they're diabolical, but trust me, they're not actively working against you like the blue team are. Those are the real assholes. And what's worse about the blue team is you can't even hurt them. Actually, I'm kind of happy that they don't have friendly fire in this. They had it in the PC game. I don't know if they still do, but man, friendly fire fucking sucked. Especially when like you'd have dumbasses that accidentally run into you all the time. Hey, we got a kill. Oh, Molotov still got some fight in him. Well, that battleship's on the opposite side of the map. I sincerely doubt we're going to make it there in time, especially with, 941 points. Yeah, in a few seconds, this match will be wrapped up. It's all over but the crying now. Oh, Molotov. Now the boring waiting and running down the clock. Especially when you're on the opposite... Oh, there we go. Battle ended. Thank God. Finally put us out of our misery. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. We won. I did pretty good on... Ooh, third place? That's not bad. I'll take it. That fucking Bayern didn't do anything. Loser. And finally, a match in the Atlantico, which is South American for Atlantic. I don't remember whether this is a Brazilian ship or any other South American country ship. All right, so if you're not up on the geography, the culture, and the lingo, folks. South America, basically, all of it speaks Spanish. Except for Brazil, that speaks Portuguese, because I don't remember the story. I think Spain tried to fuck Portugal out of basically out of any colonies in the New World, and then like, haha, they fucked up because there actually was colonies on that side. And apparently Portugal's like, Alright, well, you know, we're gonna take all this land, and now they have, like, the biggest country in South America. Well, I shouldn't say Portugal does, because I'm pretty certain Brazil, it's got independence. But, ooh, Constellation W. I don't like constellations. Honestly, I don't like playing the Atlantico. I know a lot of people love it. I don't like secondary ships because... Look, I don't care how fucking great your secondaries are. They're really only effective against fucking destroyers. Maybe piddly-ass light cruisers. But, man, your fucking secondaries are chump change. Oh, motherfucker, that fucking Constellation. Oh, I hate you, motherfucker. I remember when I first learned that they were going to put the Constellation in the game, I was actually really annoyed that it just wasn't called Lexington. Or, you know, I guess they couldn't call it Lexington because they got the aircraft carrier. They could have called it Alt Lexington. I don't know. Alternate History Lexington. But Constellation, actually, as I found out, was actually a really good name for it because that was the second ship of the Lexington class. I'm referring to when they were supposed to be battle cruisers, folks. So, not a terrible name. Of course, this Constellation W made me bleed my own blood, so now he must die. Like I said, I honestly don't like Atlantico. I kind of like the simplicity of you only have AP rounds, so you don't have to ever worry about switching them. On the other hand, you don't ever get to switch them. I guess they make up for it in the fact... Oh, you fucking island. I guess they make up for it in the fact that, you know, you don't have to worry so much about destroyers getting too close to you because... Well, unless they're sneaky, and most of them are. They're practically submarines at this point in the game. It's funny, so many people are like, oh, I don't want submarines in my game. You got destroyers that can basically sneak up on fucking anything. What are you... They're already here, they're just not submarines. Anyway. Well, we're doing good damage-wise, but I mean, oh, motherfucker, that fucking Constellation... Well, I'd load HE and try to hit... Well, actually, no. Actually, he's in a good spot where AP would probably do the trick if this island wasn't in my fucking way. Oh, man, my AP guns can shoot fucking 10 fucking kilometers. I'm scary to anything with paper-thin armor, I guess. Although I will admit, they are pretty good at setting fires. Oh man, the secondaries. I guess we'll take some pot shots at number... I really hate this. This fucking... I remember this happening in this match. This one dickhead just keeps fucking spamming like... turn around, get back. Alright, look at... Alright, if anyone is telling you get back in this game, they are obviously just fucking trolling you. Honestly, generally, I'm assuming that if anyone says anything on the little fucking emote wheel, it's mainly just to troll their own fucking team. I know that's what I use it for. Because get back... There's only 2 times anyone's ever going to tell you get back, and that is whether they want to armchair quarterback your fucking game, fuck them, or you're just about to die and they're basically rubbing it in. It's a dick fucking move. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you want to be a dick, use it. I know that's when I usually use it. But, I fucking hate that stupid... I hate the fucking emote wheel. I really do. Especially because, like, almost nobody ever talks on the fucking mics in this game. And if they do, I mean, they're half the time, whenever like the little mic's popping up and you want to listen in, it's all like, oh, it's just some asshole who hasn't muted his mic. I mean, yeah, I've done the same thing. That kind of sucks. Especially when you're ranting and raving about something completely out of context, then it's kind of funny. I always find it funny when I'm starting a match and I'm talking to my cat and I'm like, oh, there's my little buddy, you know, and probably you're like, what the fuck's this guy on about? Scharnhorst 43. Well, I guess I will go protect the base. Hey, fuck you, Constellation. Get fucked. God, I love the fucking Ebenezer Scrooge guys. This is hands down one of my all-time favorite guises in the game. Don't get me wrong. I've got... God, I wish I had a nickel for every time I said, don't get me wrong. No, the Ebenezer Scrooge guys is fucking amazing. There's a handful of guises that I really like, but he's like rapidly becoming one of my favorites. I got him during the last, during the holiday update, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have gotten this guy in previous ones, because this guy is fucking hilarious. That and I, as probably none of you know, but I'm going to tell you anyways, I am a huge Charles Dickens fan. Yep, that's right, I like Charles Dickens. I know, nerd, but yeah, I am a total fucking nerd. Would you expect anything else? What am I talking about? Nobody ever watches this. I'm talking to myself at this point. But you know, at least I'm entertaining myself. That's the thing. There's one thing I love about, you know, video games. I don't like multiplayer games. This is the exception, but I mean, the multiplayer aspect is unfortunately a necessary evil. I don't think I'm going to make it. I really don't think I'm going to make it. This is not good. Things do not look good for Homestar Runner. But no, I like single player games, you know, with stories, because I enjoy playing with myself, I guess. I don't know. Well, didn't do good in the Atlantico, but honestly, that is par for the course for me. That is disappointing, especially being taken out by a Scharnhorst 43. That's just kind of sad. Hey, look, it's that dickhead who just kept like, hey, you should turn around. Maybe you should turn around. And, fucking the adventure. You know what? The rest of this match is boring. You know who's going to lose. Let's just skip to the end. Well, as we ended the match, we find out, oh no, we lost. Mr. Scrooge looks so happy with that puppy, though. Whoa, we did good. Wow, holy shit. Third on the top of the team. Man, they must have really sucked if I'm third from the top. All right, so there you have it. Well, I won one of the matches anyways. I guess better luck next time. I don't know. Well, time for an exercise in prognostication, future planning, future telling, if you will. I'm going to try to predict what ships we are going to get in 2026 on World of Warships Legends. You know me, I love data, I love researching stuff, I love looking for trends. I think I put together this is my best estimate on what they're coming out with this year. So what do we know so far? We know that we're getting 3 tech tree lines. We're getting a cruiser, a destroyer, and a battleship line. And unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I guess, in this case, they already spoiled the cruiser line. It's going to be the Pan American cruisers. That's kind of cool. I'm excited that Pan Am's finally getting a legit, you know, like slot on the board for a nation. But, you know, could have done without the spoiler. Would have been a nice surprise. Alright, so we also know we're getting 3 aircraft carriers, a legendary and 2 tier 7s, and of course they've already spoiled the legendary. That's going to be Manfred von Richthofen for the Germany line. So that's one less ship. So again, we're already got a significant lead here. Oh, and 2 ships have already been spoiled by playtesters. I don't know what the fuck Wargaming was thinking. I think this is just sloppiness. But so far, the Tier 7 Dutch cruiser Rigid, I don't know how to pronounce it, and the Tier 8 Spanish battleship Victoria have both been spotted in matches. We know they're coming. It's only a matter of how and when. So there's a few ships off the list right off the bat that I can assume we're going to get this year. Unfortunately for y'all, I'm going to attempt to spoil the entire line for you. Or I should say, spoil the entire roster of ships coming up. But hey, you know what? These are just guesses. And don't get me wrong, they are very, very well researched and analyzed guesses, but at the end of the day, they're still just guesses. Mainly, I'm just looking at the PC version of the game and seeing what they've got. And I'm looking at past trends of what they released over the years, and I think I've got... these are well-estimated guesses. I'll put it that way. They're guesses, but they're really, really well estimated. Alright, so let's just start with the tech tree lines. Alright, so we already know the Pan Am cruisers are coming, but let's take a stab at what we think the lineup will look like. Fortunately, we have the recent Spanish cruiser lineup to kind of compare what they might do with this. I really don't hope they follow that exactly. You see, in the earlier tech tree lines, Wargaming was just slightly modifying the lineup and dropping their tier 1s from the PC version. That's because the PC tier 1 ships don't really fit with the line. They're not even cruisers. They're usually gunboats or frigates or sometimes even mine layers in the case of the Griff. So I really liked that they did that at the beginning, but it seems like they're going back to it now. I don't like that. So what I'm kind of hoping here... one side note, I just kind of wish that Wargaming would put tier 1 premiums into the game. I get why they never will. They like to just pretend tier 1 doesn't exist. But I don't know. I'd just like to see it. It would open opportunities for a lot of ships that we just aren't seeing otherwise. Alright, so I'm thinking that if they do this like they did the Spanish line, it should look a little bit like this, with the Hercules at tier 1. And Almirante Barossa will likely be cut out entirely, or maybe brought in as a 2-tier premium at some point, like the Mendez Nunez was. Maybe with a calendar event or a card thing, collection deal. But I imagine that's probably what they'll do. I really hope they don't do it, because the Hercules is a British frigate from 1942. And didn't even end up with the Argentina Navy until just after the war. So, I mean, why put it in? I really don't like when they do this stuff, but it is what it is. Alright, this is what I'm kind of hoping happens here. I'm hoping that they cut the Hercules right out of the equation. If they really want, they can bring it back in later at some point. And we get Almirante Barossa I think it is Barossa. Barroso? Anyways, that ship at tier 1, I think that would be the easier thing to do for them, honestly. But honestly, if they were going to do a tier 2 premium kind of alongside it like they did with the Spanish, I don't hope it's Hercules, I hope it's Almirante Abreu for the tier 2 premium, and here's why. Alright, so the beauty of making Barroso the tier 1, and I'm coming at this from an ideal of time and resources aspect. The Barroso was the 3rd armored cruiser that Brazil was supposed to get from Britain, and the only one that they actually got. The other 2 ended up being bought out from under them by the US and became the New Orleans and the Albany, as in the US Tier 1 cruiser Albany. This would literally be a slight redesign and some minimal tweaking to the stats. And they basically just have the Barroso. I think that would be perfect. Alright, so the Almirante Abreu, I think that's how it's called. It might be a bro. Alright, so that was the ship that they were supposed to get that we got as the Albany. So the Almirante Abreu is just the Albany. it's like an alternate version if Brazil would have gotten it. I think that would be a really cool Tier 2 cruiser because, I don't know, I love the Albany and I would really like to see a Tier 2 version of it. You know, with both like HE and AP shells. I think that'd be kind of cool. And I don't think it would be that hard for them to do. I mean, this is literally just taking a ship that is already in the game and just doing a few minor tweaks and a little bit of reskin, and boom, there's your problem solved. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm hoping they do with that. Alright, so let's move on to the destroyers, and there's really only one line I'm pretty much considering that could possibly be here, and that would be an alternate US destroyer line. According to the PC, that is the only destroyer line that has not come to Legends yet. Now, they can just come up with their own line. I mean, they did it recently with the Japanese hybrid battleships, but I don't think that they will. Generally, I mean, that was the very rare exception. Normally, it's something that's on PC. This is the only line that's on the PC right now. So this should be an easy one, but there is a little bit of an issue here because the lineup should look a little bit something like this. Now, you see at Tier 6, we have the Hughes. And you might be kind of confused right now, but yeah, isn't there a premium ship called the Hughes? Yes, there is. There's already a premium ship on Legends called the Charles F. Hughes. Here's the catch. They are not the same ship. The Hughes on PC is a Sims class, and the Charles F. Hughes is a Benson class. They're both real ships too. This isn't just wargaming making shit up like they usually do. These are legit ships. They just had slightly similar names. So anyways, they are technically different ships. Could they do it? Yeah, I think they would really confuse the player base if they did though. I don't know, maybe they will. But let's go off on a little side mission here and just say, what if they don't? What if they drop Hughes? Alright, you'll notice that Burroughs is the legendary, so they're not going to drop that. And you'd only have two ships in the tech tree. Can it be done? It's never been done on Legends. It has been done over on PC. And I think it's tacky as fuck whenever they do it. So let's just go on the assumption that they're not going to do that. I hope they don't do that because that would be so fucking lame. Alright, so I'm assuming it'll probably go down a little bit like this. Osborne, Christopher, and Burroughs will all get moved down a tier. And then they're going to have to find a new legendary. Now, granted, we're probably not getting a legendary anytime soon for this line, but somewhere down the road, we probably will. So I'm just going to take a stab at what potential legendary we could possibly get. Now, really, you've only got 4 options here, at least so far for what's over on the PC, and you got 2 Tier 8s, Halford and Johnston, and you got 2 legendaries, Forrest Sherman and the Hull. Alright, let's just eliminate Halford because that is a, it looks like it's a hybrid destroyer of some sort. It has airplanes. I sincerely doubt they're going to drop that on us this year. So let's just remove Halford from the equation. Johnston, you know, it could be, but I honestly think that this is either going to be a campaign or an event ship later this year. So we'll remove that one from the equation too. Alright, so that just leaves us with Sherman and Hull. Now, the Hull is really just a modified Sherman. So maybe you'd think, well, maybe just remove Burroughs from the equation, put Sherman in there, and then Hull could be the legendary somewhere down the road. Here's the problem. This whole line, well, past Hughes. Hughes still has 5-inch guns, but Osborne, Christopher, and Burroughs all have 5 3/8 inch guns. So it seems like the trend of this line is heavier caliber weapons. That being said, the Sherman only has 5-inch guns. So going from a larger to a smaller kind of wouldn't make sense. The Hull, on the other hand, The version that's in the game was the one that was modified in the 70s with 8-inch guns. Now that would definitely follow suit with the larger caliber thing. The catch is that those modifications were done in the 70s, and I don't know, that's a little bit far beyond the scope of this game. But it's on PC, and it's probably not coming anytime soon. My guess, if they're going to go with a legendary for this line, it's probably going to be the Hull, probably somewhere down the road. Either that or they'll just come up with something new. But this is what I'm calling it. I believe it's going to look probably something like this, with Osborne, Christopher, Burroughs, and then sometime down the line we'll get the Hull. Alright, so finally we've come to the Battleship line, and this one is going to be very tough because we've got 3 possible existing lines to consider. The PC has an alternate Battleship line for the Japanese, but they've also got Battleship lines for Pan-Europe and Pan-America. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm going to assume that Wargaming's not going to introduce 2 lines for Pan-America this year. So I'm going to eliminate that one for now. It still technically could happen, but I don't think it will. So that just leaves us with the alternate Battleship line from Japan and the Pan-European line. It's not impossible to think that they might do this because the US has 3 battleship lines. I could see them doing that for Japan, but they did just introduce the hybrid carriers for Japan, so I don't know. And then the European line, this is the one I really hope they go with, because this line is a perfect fit into Legends all the way from Tier 3 to Legendary. They might do a few things different though. I can maybe see them swapping out Chios for Turget Rees or something like that. Maybe they could possibly drop the Tier 3 and 4. Because, I mean, the Yavuz is basically just a Molki. And the Tegethoff, I am not pronouncing these correct, I guarantee it, and I don't care. But the Tegethoff, the Tegethoff, that's funny. The Tegethoff is a sister to the Viribus Unitas, so technically it's just, those ships are technically already in the game. They could drop them. I could see them dropping them just to annoy me, but I kind of hope that we get this line. And of course, I don't think we'll get Thor this year, but I think sometime down the road they might release it as a Bureau project. That would be interesting, but I think this would be the cool line. Just in case though, let's look at the Japanese alternate line. Well, for starters, we've only got 3 ships to work with here, and one of them is a legendary, so it's kind of the same issue we had with the US Destroyer line. They could give us 2 in the tech tree, which is kind of what they did on PC, but that sucks, and I really hope they don't do that. I'm thinking the only way that they could pull this off is to slip in the Hotaka at Tier 7, and maybe bump Yumahara down a tier. That might work. I could see that working. This is kind of a battle cruiser line, so that would kind of make sense. Between the two, I would rather see the Pan-European fleet because it just has way more interesting ships. But in all honesty, they're probably going to go with the Japanese line. They just dropped Tsurugi a few updates ago, and I could see them using that as a teaser for the battle cruiser line. Still though, the Pan-European line is more recent and they'd be easier to model, so that is a possibility. Sadly though, my money's on the Japanese line being the one to drop later this year. I hate to say it, but I think that's what they're gonna do. I really hope they don't. I hope we get Pan-Europe, but my guess, if I had to put any money on it, I'd say it's probably gonna be the Japanese battlecruiser line. So there it is. That's my guess for the 3 tech tree lines. I'm guessing we're going to see the Pan Am cruisers first, likely as early as next Monday. Behold, it is I from the future, armed with the benefit of hindsight and the knowledge of things yet to come at the time of this recording. This segment was recorded a week before the update notes were released. And I was lazy and dumb and got so many things wrong and I couldn't meet my upload deadline. I return now from whence I came, which I remind you is the future for this segment, but also the near past for you, dear viewer. Perhaps we will meet again. in the future. The American destroyers will probably come in the June-July update, because that seems to be when they usually drop a lot of the American stuff. And the Japanese battle cruisers will probably come in around the October, November, probably with the Black Friday release, I'm guessing. I don't know. Those are just wild guesses. It seems to be like the peak periods historically that wargaming drops for those countries, except for Pan America, but there's not a lot to work with there. I'm just assuming it'll probably come in the first quarter because they teased it, and you know how they are about, you know, their teasers. Usually it's pretty quick to follow. Alright, moving on. Let's look at the aircraft carriers. We're getting 3 this year. Von Richthofen has already been spoiled. So we really only need to figure out the 2 Tier 7s that we're going to get. There are 6 potential ships on the PC that these could be. You got Yorktown, Hornet, Colossus, Indomitable, Theseus, and Aquila. They could potentially throw the Italian in there, but I kind of doubt that they'd do that this year, so I'm assuming we're only looking at an American and a British ship. For the US, it could kind of go either way. Yorktown and Hornet are sister ships, but Hornet would definitely be the more interesting of the two. Now on PC, the Yorktown is a tech tree ship, but I highly doubt they're going to throw in an alternate carrier line onto Legends, mainly because they already have their Tier 5 in as the Independents, so I don't think that they would do that exactly. Hornet, on the other hand, is a premium with a really cool gimmick. She's got B-25 bombers due to, historically in the Doolittle raid, they actually had B-25 bombers on her. Plus, there's an Azer Lane version on the PC, so I could see them capitalizing on that too. I think if we do get Hornet, we'll probably definitely see AL Hornet coming down the line probably next February. I'm hoping it's Hornet, so that's the one I'm gonna go with. I might be wrong, but I'm really hoping it's Hornet. I'm gonna bet on Hornet. The Brits are a teensy bit more complicated. This is a tale of 2 pairs of sisters here. I know there's only 3 ships, but hear me out. Alright, so Colossus and Theseus are sisters, and Indomitable is the sister of the Indefatigable. Boy, I hate these stupid names for some of these ships. Alright, that stupid Azer Lane one that nobody likes. Alright, so that could be pretty easy for them to kind of well, you know, it's the Indomitable. Mainly because it would be just an easy reskin. I don't think that they would do that. Well, I should say, I'm not going to go that route because here's the thing. Everyone hates the anime ship because it sucks. So let's just hope that they don't do that. Alright, so that leaves us with Colossus and Theseus. That could really go either way, but I'm guessing they'd probably go with Theseus over Colossus. It's fairly new to the PC, but it's likely the easier to adapt considering that Colossus features missiles and Theseus doesn't. That doesn't mean that they just couldn't put Colossus in without missiles, or maybe they'll just add missiles. I don't know. I kind of doubt that. But I'd say the safer bet would probably be Theseus. So there's my theoretical lineup: Hornet, Theseus, and of course von Richthofen. As far as when they're released, I'm going to take a few guesses and say that von Richthofen will be released as a purchasable bureau project sometime in April. I know that's fairly specific, but all previous legendary carriers in Legends have been purchasable bureau projects. I'm kind of hoping that they just keep that trend. I'm just guessing that's what they're going to do. And I'm guessing April, maybe to coincide with von Richthofen's death in 1918. He died on April 21st. So I could see them tying that in with that milestone in history. So that's my guess. Purchasable bundle sometime in the April update. Hornet, I'm guessing, will be a campaign ship in the June-July update. It seems like they have an aircraft carrier every other year, and that would follow the pattern. As for Theseus, I'm going to take a wild guess here and assume she's going to be made available for global XP, kind of like the Chekolov was. And I'm guessing that'll be in late September or early October. That seems to be the time of the year that they usually drop global XP ships, and yeah, I think that might be what they'll do. So those are my guesses for when and what we're getting as far as the aircraft carrier goes. Let's move on to the campaigns. That's right, I'm going to try to take a stab at what campaign ships I think we're going to get this year. On the plus side, we've already got one. So 1 down, 9 to go. I'm going with 10, by the way, because generally we get 10 updates a year, and that's going to probably be 10 campaigns. I'm not going to consider 2-ship campaigns because, honestly, that's kind of hard to predict when they'll do that, or if they'll do that. So I'm probably going to be wrong on a lot of these, but I don't know. This is kind of just my stab in the dark at kind of what we're getting, when the campaign ships will be dropping, and so forth. So anyways, all right, update 1, we already know it will. Most of us probably already have it by now. That's going to be the Tier 8 British Cruiser Sum. Boom. All right, I've already got 1 out of 9 done. So far, got a good record. I already called 1, so there we go. For the next update, which should be up a week from when I'm uploading this, hopefully, if I can get off my butt and actually finish this stuff. I'm guessing it's going to be the Russian legendary cruiser Smolensk. They've been teasing the Smolensk for quite a while now, and while I think it's very boring to have yet another legendary Russian cruiser, especially one that starts with the letter S, why the fuck do we need 3 of those? But I'm guessing early spring is where they traditionally drop the Russian campaigns, so I'm assuming that's probably when they'll drop it. Also, one other thing to consider here is currently we're running the Kremlin Marathon. Now, during the Hindenburg Marathon, the second campaign ship of that marathon was Prusen. So it might be that they do like another ship of that nation in the middle to kind of just keep interest up. So that's where I'm going with this. That's what I think is going to happen. That update, Smolensk. For the April update, my guess is that we're going to get the Tier 7 Dutch cruiser Virgid, or however it's fucking pronounced. Those fucking super testers have been spotted all over the place in this thing, so I'm guessing it's coming soon. April is the perfect time to drop a Dutch ship. It really won't fit in with the Duck of War theme, but it's rare that the campaign ships ever match the events, so that's my guess. It's springtime, tulips are in the air. My guess, Dutch cruiser Virgid in the April. May, this is a tough one, and this is just kind of a wild guess, honestly. I'm thinking the Tier 8 Spanish cruiser Almirante Oquendo. Alternatively, it might be the Tier 7 cruiser Numancia, but I think they'd probably go with a Tier 8 for this one. Honestly, this one I'm not quite sure about, but I figured it might be a reasonable time for a Spanish theme update. I could see them doing this while also dropping the Victoria as an event ship around the same time to kind of go hand in hand. I know that I just said that, the campaign and the event rarely line up, but I could see them doing it here, because sometimes they do. Or a chain bundle, I could see them doing that too. I mean, event ship is kind of like, it could be either you get it through playing the Duck of War event, or you could possibly have to get this through a chain bundle. I'm thinking either or. Either way, I'm thinking it's going to be Almirante Oquendo. That's my final answer for May. It's a wild stab in the dark, but that's what I'm going with. As far as the June-July update, this is almost always American themed, so I'm guessing we're going to see all the US ships being dropped around this time. Alright, so I'm guessing the campaign is going to be Hornet for this one. Yorktown is very possible, but I'm honestly hoping it is Hornet. I've already said it's going to be Hornet, so Hornet's going to be my answer for that update. The update following that, it's usually a battleship campaign for around the August time slot. My guess it'll probably be the Tier 7 Pan-European battleship Turgut Reis. I'm certain I'm not pronouncing that. It's Turkish for something, I'm certain. I'm figuring that'd be a nice tease to get people guessing that our Battleship Line will be the Pan-European line. That might be classic misdirect, because I still think it's going to be the Japanese line. But hey, you can hope. You can hope. Alright, so moving on. The September update, that could be anything. It literally could. This is just a complete guess. But I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to say Tier 8 Pan-Asian Cruiser Incheon. Or Incheon. I think it's Incheon. Either way, it's Korean. It seems like the kind of ship they would go for. There's a huge hard-on for Russian cruisers lately, and a Chinese Stalingrad would really fit the bill. It's as good a guess as any, but I'm not super confident. I have no idea what the Halloween event will be this year, but I'm really hoping they at least have one. More importantly, though, we're guessing campaign ships here. This is just another wild guess, but I got a sneaky feeling it might be the Tier 8 Japanese cruiser Chikuma 2. It's been on PC for a few years now, and that kind of seems to be the trend of when things come from the PC. And it could coincide with the real one sinking in 1944, because that was around this time of the year. Plus, they usually drop a Japanese ship in the second half of the year anyway, so the timing would be right. For the November update, I'm guessing we're going to see the Tier 8 U.S. destroyer Johnston. Johnston's been around for a couple years on PC, and it was a highly anticipated release over there, at least it seems like it was. They even released a special version called the GQ Johnny over there. I don't know if we'll get that. We might get some skin similar to that, maybe as a premium thing. But my assumption, it'll probably be... I know it's bizarre to think that, we might get that in November. But I've already kind of picked Hornet for the July update. Then again, I didn't think about this, but they might do what they did a few years, back in 22, what they did with the Black and the Independence. It could be a choice between the two, and if it is, honestly, I think they'd go with Yorktown instead. I still really want it to be Hornet, though, so I'm going to say Johnston's probably coming in November. Although, regardless, I think Johnston's coming one way or another this year. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm almost certain Johnston's coming this year. Because we don't have enough Fletchers, we need more. Alright, so finally the holiday update. It's almost always a legendary. It's been that way for the past 3 years. I have no doubt it's going to be a legendary this year. Mainly because they like to hype people up right before they all go on break and give us the most lackluster update ever after that. So I'm already saying it's probably going to be a legendary, and I'm thinking it's going to be a cruiser. It just kind of follows the trending. The Brits have a good record for being in the holiday campaign, but it does jump around a bit, and it seems like they're trying to cover most of the nations around this time. I'm thinking Germany's due. I think that's what we're going to probably get this year. Legendary tier cruiser, German. I'm going to go with Bremen. On the PC, it's a steel ship, but there's a few steel ships over here that have been campaign or event ships somehow. So it's not completely out of the realm. Over there, it's kind of considered a super mains, and I think that'd make people really, really want it over here. I haven't heard a whole lot of talk about it, but I could see people really, kind of raising the roof once we get a few more of the high demand ships over here. I'd say normally they'd put that in as a marathon ship, but a holiday, they might go the extra mile, and they might throw in the Bremen. That's what I'm calling. It's going to be the Bremen for the holiday update, final update of the year. Boom. All right, so that is my list of where I think the campaign ships are going to come out and what ships we're going to get. I'm probably wrong on half of these. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong on at least 9 of them. But I know I got one right. So I got that going for me. Alright, so now that I've called the campaigns, I would like to add one extra that I would love to see swapped out with any of these, but I sincerely doubt they'd probably do it because it's kind of too interesting. What I'd like to see in a campaign, alright, so in the situation where you have the 2-ship campaign, you know, you do the campaign, you get to pick one or the other. I think it would be really cool if they had a campaign where at the end you get to choose between Royal Sovereign and the Arcane Gelsk. I honestly don't know how to pronounce that. That's Russian. Either way, this would be interesting because they're the same ship. I think that would just be a very interesting way to do it because the Archangel here, or whatever the hell it's called, that thing was the Royal Sovereign when they gave it to the Soviets. And that's kind of a funny story in itself, but I don't want to get too far in the weeds. Either way, I think it would be neat to have a campaign where your campaign prizes are the choice between, you know, the same ship just for a different nation. I think that'd just be kind of clever. I doubt we'll ever see it, but I think it would be neat. Alright, I just talked about marathons. I'm guessing marathons are here to stay. They seem to really want to encourage audience retention while simultaneously shaking us down for as much cash as possible. And marathons kind of hit that beautiful sweet spot of both without making it feel too bad. So my guess, marathons are not going away. I'm guessing we'll probably see 3 of them this year. And so we've already got the Kremlin. One, it's going on right now. That's already out. That leaves us with 2 to guess at. And I'm just going to take some guesses here. But I'm guessing the next marathon's going to start in the June-July update. That's usually the American update. I'm guessing Legendary Tier Cruiser Austin. And the main reason is because so many people have been crying and whining for that thing for a while. That's what I think will probably drop in the next marathon. It'll probably be the Austin. As far as the one after that, it'll probably conclude with the Christmas update. That's my assumption anyways. I don't know. This is kind of a tough one, but my assumption is it's going to be Shikishima. I've been hearing a lot of talk about Shikishima, and I could see them dropping it as a marathon, and I could see it dropping around the holiday time. So that's my guess. If we do get a second marathon this year, my guess is Shikishima. Honestly, if we only had one more update this year, it would probably be Shikishima. Although, honestly, Austin is another good contender. But that's it. That's my final answer. It's going to go Kremlin, then the Austin, and then the Shikishima. Alright, so outside of that, the other stuff I can maybe guess. We'll get some overpriced event ships, maybe some chain bundles. So really quickly, I'm just going to guess what we might see. I've already called, we're probably going to get the Spanish Battleship Victoria for one of these. There's always one in the July update, and it's almost always an American. I'm going to go with the Tier 8 hybrid battleship Kearsarge. I just think that might be where they'll go with it. They might do Illinois, but I think it's going to be Kearsarge, if any. Later on, I don't know, maybe a later event ship that we might get towards, fall into the winter would be the legendary Italian cruiser Varese. It's kind of a buffed up Michelangelo, so that might just be fun for players who like Michelangelo. And I know there's a few people out there that really do. I kind of like the Michelangelo. I think it's a fun ship. I could see them putting that in as an event ship. They know they'll get money out of it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to guess right now. This is kind of my lineup. This is what I think we're going to get this year. Again, I'm probably wrong on 90% of it, but this is my guess. Other than that, I mean, I could take a stab at, maybe what the Black Fleet or the Winter Fleet might be this year, but I really don't want to. I think that's, I don't know. It could really be anything. I know we're getting the pirate update, or the pirate ships are coming out the next update. We already know we're probably getting that Neptune pirate ship, which looks awesome. I'm kind of excited about that. Other than that, I have no clue. I'm kind of hoping they bring the Ninja Turtles promotion back again. They did over on PC, so I'm assuming we'll probably see it. Well, I really want to see it because I want to get more Foot Clan camo. But I know over there they got April and Splinter, so we'll probably see them as new commanders, but I doubt we'll see any new ships. It would be cool, though. I'm also looking forward to, hopefully they bring back Star Trek again, because you have ships for all the commanders except for Worf. So I'm really hoping we get some sort of Dutch cruiser special premium battleship, or not battleship, special premium ship, basically just for Worf. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. It would be really cool though if maybe we got like a few different commanders. I could see Q or Gul Dukat. That would be pretty neat. If they did a Kirk one, God, that would be fucking awesome. Especially if they could get Shatner to come and do the lines for Kirk. I know the guy's in his mid-90s now, so I doubt it'd happen. Especially because they couldn't even get Patrick Stewart to do Picard when they brought him into the game. So I don't know. That guy will probably play birthday parties if you're willing to pay him enough. Obviously, Wargaming ain't willing to pay for it, so I doubt they'd get Shatner, but goddamn, I would just write him a blank check. If they got Shatner to come in and do Kirk for one of the Star Trek commanders, oh yeah, I'd be totally down with that. But anyways, those are my guesses. Oh, one last guess. There's always one anniversary ship every year. I'm not referring to the exclusive ones that you get for like the loyalty thing. I'm referring to like your Campbellton A, your Smith A, your Oleg A. But it sounds like pig Latin here. But my assumption is if we get one this year, which I think that we will, it's kind of a hope, but I'm guessing it'll be Vampire A. If not, I'm guessing Curtatone A, because it seems like they do one for each nation so far. And I figure it'll either be the Italian Curtatone or the Commonwealth Vampire. They do love dropping Commonwealth ships from time to time just to kind of tease us without ever dropping an actual, cruiser line. But that'd be my guess, Vampire A or Curtatone A. Curtatone, that sounds like some sort of Italian dish. That's funny. Anyways, that is my guess for the ships to come. These are the things that might happen. But yeah, I don't know if they will or not. I guess time will tell. Das Gedanya, comrade. So you want to fight for Mother Russia in Tier 1? Well, it's not going to be for the Soviets, because this is an Imperial ship. Alright, so in our guide to Tier 1, for this part, we're going to be covering the Russian cruiser Novik. And this is a very, very cool ship. I like this ship a lot. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst at the tier. The nice thing about it is... Oh, look at that thing. It looks like an early... it looks like an early destroyer. And it honestly kind of plays like one, too. Now, the one thing I want to say while we're looking at the model here is... Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 guns for each side. That's going to be a full salvo of 5 guns. Man, this thing is pretty darn good at dealing some damage. But anyways, let's get into a little bit about the ship. Of course, I've got a commander that basically doesn't do anything, so that's kind of nice. Alright, let's look at the module. Let's take that off real quick just so I can show you the purest stats that there are. By the way, this module is going to add an extra basically 10% to your range. If you don't have that, you're not doing it right. Honestly, you can get, it's 500 silver. You can get it in like 2 matches. Just definitely do it, because that's going to really help you here. Alright, so, let's look at the Novik Pioneer ship, scout cruiser type, rapid fire guns, but was weak in terms of armor. In the course of her service, she was the fastest cruiser in the world. Alright, a lot of that is misleading as usual. But, that descriptor on there, long reach, that is not a lie. This thing actually has really, really good range, and you can really build into it too if you want to. But what we're going to do right now is look over at specs real quick. Alright, so survivability, its armor 6 to 50 millimeters. I kind of wish they had it in real fucking units, but millimeters it is. Alright, that 50 sounds good if it was in the right places, and believe it or not, on this ship, it actually is in all the right places. We'll get into that when we cover the armor. Hit points, 14,500 hit points. That is the second highest amount of hit points you can have at Tier 1. It's only beaten by the Nino Bixio and the Gelderland, and this thing has a lot better advantages than either of those ships. So, really good hit points wise. Definitely doing good there. Main battery, 120 millimeter guns. It's a lower caliber gun for this tier. Not the best. Definitely not the best, but not the worst. Only slightly above the worst. But, oh man, this thing actually has some advantages. Mainly this one. Main battery range, 9.4 kilometers. Bear in mind, this is 9.4 kilometers stock. We haven't even added the extra 10% to get it up to 10.3 yet. This alone, it has the... It's got the second highest main battery range at the tier, just stock. The only thing that's got it beat is the Gelderland. And the Gelderland, it kind of blows. So we'll get into the Gelderland some other time. Alright, reload time, damn fast. Not Griff fast, not Dresden fast, but fast. 5 seconds is nothing to sneeze about. Main battery turret time, now this is where, this is our first, like, oh, well that ain't good. 22.5 seconds, basically on par with the Xi'an. It's the second worst turret time in the game. But on the plus side, you've got 5 guns on each side. You're not going to have a hard time getting them to turn for you. It's fine. Your shell grouping, that's normal. Doesn't change for any ship at this tier. HE shells, 1,700. That's below average. And that's saying something because you got to remember this average includes the Jupiter, and man, that just sucks the average way down. Anyways, this is probably the 4th worst damage at the tier, but with those rapid firing guns, that's kind of the nice thing because outside of... Alright, so yeah, your reload time is pretty good, your HE damage is kind of lame, but your damage per second per shell, maximum damage obviously, is going to be 340. That is second highest at the tier. The only thing that's got this thing in on damage per second per shell is the Griff. And as far as per salvo, remember you got 5 guns on each side. This thing basically it's 1,700 damage per second per full salvo at max damage, obviously, and that's second only to the Dresden, the big king daddy of fucking damage per second per salvo at this tier. So you got some pretty decent damage output on this ship. Death by 1,000 cuts as it is. Actually, no, Griff is death by 1,000 cuts. This is no slouch. And honestly, look at this, the fire setting chance, 8%. That is nothing to sneeze at. That is the second highest at this tier. It's tied with Jurian and Griff, but it's only got Chikuma with 1% more fire setting chances than this thing, which is fantastic. This thing's going to be setting fires like nobody's business. A full salvo of these things, that's 5 shots. That's a 34.1% chance you're going to set a fire on the enemy ship, and that's every 5 seconds. Trust me, you're going to be setting fires of this thing, especially if you build into it. Alright, AA, who cares about AA? You ain't going to be dealing with planes. Maximum speed. Alright, so this is kind of where that, like, oh, it's the fastest cruiser in the world. Alright, well, if all the ships were from the same time period, that might mean something. Sadly, 25 is only like the 3rd fastest speed at the tier. You can keep pace with Dresden. The Chikuma and the Weymouth are like a full knot faster than you. And of course, Nino Bixio is just going to run circles around you, sadly. Your turning radius, though, it kind of sucks. It's going to take you 40 acres to turn this thing around. On the plus side, your rudder shift time, incredibly fast. 3rd highest at the tier, or I should say 3rd lowest at the tier. Very maneuverable, except for it has a wide radius. You're not going to be making tight turns in this thing unless you're really good at doing the whole forward and back thing to kind of get a sharper turn in. Alright, concealment. Alright, and this is where it sucks. Novik has the worst concealment in the fucking game at this tier. 9.3. And that isn't... It doesn't have, like... It's not the worst by, like, a little bit. It's the worst by, like, 0.4... Nearly half a fucking kilometer. Basically, you can see this thing from fucking space. So, the area of engagement... By the way, area of engagement is essentially... it's something I kind of came up with. It's essentially it's your maximum fire range minus your detectability range. Essentially, it's that little spot where you could get a surprise shot in. And with this thing, it's a 0.1. It's tied for the Xi'an for lamest area of engagement. That really sucks. But we can work on that. I'll put it that way. Especially with, like, increasing the range, that's going to help you out quite a bit. But still, you're already working at a severe disadvantage. And everything that you can do to boost this thing's detectability, it's not even going to put it above average. So you're going to be seen a lot of times. Alright, so let's look into the armor real quick. Naturally, the conning tower has all the fucking armor. Well, actually, it's only... Wait, I'm on the wrong thing. It's got 30 millimeters of armor in the conning tower. Again, that means nothing in this fucking game, as far as I can tell anyway. Alright, so where's this 50 mils of armor we keep hearing about? Well, it's not in the superstructure. It's definitely not in the turrets. Not in the bow. Well, where the fuck is it, huh? It's not in the auxiliary room. Oh, yeah. Alright, so your citadel is a little bit above the water level, and it juts up a few times, so that's not good. But it does have these nice slopes, and look at those nice slopes. They are made of 50 millimeter armor. Trust me, this is going to stop just about any shell. Weymouth can probably still pull it off. It might be able to citadel you, but Gelderland definitely can't, and you can sure as hell bet no one else is going to. Unless someone gets like a 1 in a million shot through this bow and into the front of your citadel or the rear of your citadel, yeah, then you're kind of fucked. But I mean, even the deck of this thing is 30 mils. So damn fine Citadel protection. You're not going to get Citadel'd in this thing. You can take damage, but you got a lot of hit points. This thing is pretty darn good, and it's pretty darn fast. You're going to want to keep moving around a lot. It's a good ship. It's a good ship for bobbing and weaving, I'll put it that way. Alright, so let's go into commander builds. First things first, obviously, I always show you what the stock commander for Russia is going to do for this ship. Best case scenario, and I'm pretty certain it's this one. Yeah, okay. So let's look at what we can do with Nikolay von Essen. Alright, so this is going to be the commander you're going to have at the beginning. Obviously, you're probably not going to have him this high, but if you decide to go with von Essen as your guy for this ship and you do get him maxed out, you can do some stuff with him. Now, here I did a dispersion build, and essentially it's just trying to be hard to hit. And you combine that with the fact that you're pretty fast, you kind of got good turn speed. You can bob and weave a lot. This is going to be helpful for dodging stuff. So let's look at what we kind of got built here. Base trait, nooks and crannies. Basically, it's only for AP rounds. This is not helpful. Completely useless trait. Not going to help you at all. Skill tier 1. Alright, you're not going to fight planes, you don't have torpedoes, burn it down's all you got, but hey, remember, you're already at 8%, this puts you up to 10% fire chances, that's pretty darn good. Look at me now, or crisscross, obviously you could take this except for you ain't going to deal with torpedoes, so fuck that. Alright, crisscross or look at me now, these address both issues with this ship. It has slow turrets, and it also has shitty detectability. You could put this into the turrets, and that would actually probably be pretty helpful. Detectability, though, is going to help you probably a little bit more, so I'm going to stick with detectability on this. Now, for the level 3 skill, you don't have torpedoes. You definitely don't fucking have torpedo bombers. So, collective labor it is. Oh boy. And this is an Imperial Russia ship too. It's not one of those commie bastards. So anyways, collective labor, well, damage control charges +1. Well, 1 plus, infinity +1's not going to help you, so that's not that helpful. Your damage control party duration though, you can get this up to 20%, and remember it's 5 seconds of duration, so that'll give you a full extra second of control party duration. And by the way, what you might be thinking about, well, what does that even do for me? Alright, as long as your damage control party is active, you cannot be set on fire, you cannot take any flooding, and you can't have any of your modules incapacitated. It's an extra second of that. It's kind of a, alright, well, you can damage me, but you can't take out any of my stuff. 1 second isn't much, but who knows, it might be helpful. Besides, it's better than either of these. Alright, legendary. Obviously, will rebuild, completely useless, not going to help us. Fully packed. Again, 1 plus infinity is nothing. Cooldown for consumables, you can get that up to 5%, or down to 5%, deduction. Not going to help you that much. Cooldown for time for consumables. Oh, look what we have over here, Unstoppable. Alright, remember how I said that this is a bob and weave ship? You definitely don't want to get your motor or your rudder taken out, and this will basically let you keep moving and keep turning, even if you do. You're not going to do it as fast, but you'll still be doing it pretty decently. Reduces your engine repair time, but who cares about that? Now, the other nice thing about this is your damage control party cooldown time. Oh, remember, this drops it by 20% if you're near an ally? Yeah, well, this motherfucker drops it in half if you're within 7.5 kilometers. Obviously, that's maxed out. If you're 7.5 kilometers of an enemy ship, and at tier 1, that's basically engagement range. So, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's unstoppable. So yeah, that's what you'd want to do with. Now, as far as the inspirations, now we get into the dispersion. All right, so Philip Vian, his casual avoidance, you can get this up to a plus 4% dispersion. And with Hector Waller, obviously he's going to help your rudder shift time, but I mean, let's face it, at 4 seconds, you're going to knock fractions of a second off that. That ain't going to be very helpful. But your incoming fire dispersion, you can get that up to another 3%. So altogether, you're looking at 7% incoming fire dispersion. That's not bad. That's honestly pretty decent for Tier 1 especially. And if you're bobbing and weaving and juking and jiving, that's going to really, really help you out. So altogether, fire percent chance up to 10%. Your rudder shift time, down to 3.8. We'll drop 0.2 of a second off. Woo! Sea detectability is still going to suck, but it's going to suck less. 8.7 still sucks. Damage control party duration, whoop-de-ding. You get an extra second out of that. Incoming dispersion, boom, that's where it shines, 7.0%. And your damage control party cooldown, this is more of a offensive ship than a defensive ship. You're going to want to do that. This thing is not a bad build, all things considered, considering that this guy's base trait is completely fucking useless. And this tier isn't very helpful, and neither is this one really. This isn't that bad of a build. In fact, if you just kind of did this with Kuznetsov, you might do a little bit, or actually Makarov. You'd probably do even better on Makarov if you did this. But this is for the commander that you're going to get right off the bat. Basically, I went with a dispersion build. Now, if you are going to go with a Russian commander that is, like your free-to-play ones, your options are Nikolay Kuznetsov or Stepan Makarov. Makarov's not bad. I mean, like I said, you got some... you could do some stuff here. Incoming damage reduction, stuff like that. That would help you, sort of. But I mean, honestly, most of the stuff is stuff that you're already kind of got going for you. So it's not going to be incredibly useful. No, the way to go here is actually going to be Kuznetsov. That is what I would do. And I think it's build number 3. I think so anyways. No. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, okay, this is... Alright, so I've created a bit of a sniper build on this one. And truthfully, I've kind of set this up a little bit goofy, but still not bad. It's, This is probably where I'd go with it. You could really build into the fire setting chances with this build, and that would be probably pretty good, but hey, you got the range. That's probably where I'd go. Alright, so let's just look at the base trait. A main battery range, you can get this up to 6%. That's not a bad boost if you get this guy maxed out. And honestly, this is a good commander to max out. He really is. Because this maximum range thing can be pretty useful if you like sniper builds. It's a good thing for really just any good long range cruiser. Alright, moving on. Like I said, you could take Burn It Down or you could take Beyond Range. I'm going to go with Beyond Range because plus 10% to my range is basically like doubling that targeting module. So that's going to be helpful. Or I should say the targeting upgrade. So that's going to be very, very helpful. Basically taking a strength and making it even better. Alright, so Intuitive or Igniter plus 3% chance to set fires. That's pretty nice. However, between these two, I'm going to go with Intuitive. Alright, sonar duration, radar duration, we don't have either of those, right? So who the fuck cares? Why would we take this? that bottom line shows the direction of the closest enemy ship, and that is honestly kind of useful. Essentially, like, I can't tell you how many matches I've been in where you're down to the last ship, you've got a sliver of life, you don't know where he's coming from, you don't know where he is, you think he's over on one side of the map, you're heading to there, boom, he pops up behind you, you're fucking toast. This will let you know where he is. It's really handy for helping to maybe get an ambush off before they get the chance to lock in on you. I mean, your turrets are already slow, but this is pretty helpful, believe it or not. I would take it over the extra fire percent chance. You've already got reasonable chances to set fires anyway, so yeah, go with this. This is nice. All right, so next down, punch through. Obviously, we don't have AP, so that's useless. Velocitus, we can get this up to an extra 5% on top of our speed. We're a fast ship, but that ain't going to make us super fast. We still won't be able to touch the Italians, I'll put it that way. Alright, this level we don't even get, so let's just ignore it. Now, down here, fully packed, we could go with that. We could go with Equilibrium of Power. Now, this isn't too bad of an option. It helps with armor penetration, and with ships like the Xi'an, that could be really useful, but you gotta remember, your tier 1 ships are usually 6mm hulls. You're not gonna have a hard time penetrating. Even with 20mm guns, even with 120mm guns, my mistake. Even with 120s, you're still gonna penetrate. So it's not helpful. It's definitely not worth the reduction in fire setting chances, which is one thing that you got going for you, so why would you kneecap yourself? And your HE damage already kind of isn't the greatest, so I would go with reload speed. Now, granted, this ain't going to knock a whole lot of speed off of your reload. It's still going to help, though. If you max this thing out, I mean, you can knock 10% off. And 10% is not bad. I'd take 10% all day long. In fact, I mean, you gotta think about that. With 5 seconds, that's basically half a second you're removing. Half a second might not seem like much, but trust me, your damage per second is gonna go way up with this. Alright, so as far as inspirations, this is where the sniperness comes in. Norman Scott. Cruiser main battery shell grouping. You can get this up, if you max this guy out, you can get this up to 5%. I would highly recommend it. If you're going to max out any commander, Norman Scott is the guy, because this is an extremely useful base trait to add as an inspiration. So anyways, this is where the sniper aspect comes in, because, you know, we got the range, now we can get the accuracy. And you pair that up with Carol Dorman. Not a lot of people go on about how great Carol Dorman is, but especially at tier 1, he is the cat's ass. Because, alright, damage against destroyers, nobody cares. Damage against cruisers, you can get that up to an extra. You can get that up to an extra 3%, and that's gonna bring your. That's gonna bring your maximum damage with your HE shells up to 17.51 if you got it maxed out. That's not going to even get you close to average. It'll help a little bit, but not a lot. But where this, what we're really using this guy for is the main battery shell grouping when shooting at cruisers. This one you can also get up to 3%, and 3% on top of another 5%. That's 8% increase in your I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. Shell grouping. It's right there. Why? What the fuck? Brain fart, folks. Don't get old. Anyways, that's going to really help with your accuracy. this is really helpful. Honestly, this guy is one of the least talked about commanders for inspirations, and especially at tier 1, because I mean, all right, so you're not going to get the damage against battleships. You're not going to get the damage and accuracy against aircraft carriers. You'll be facing 0 of those. You know, you'll be facing a lot of cruisers. In fact, exclusively cruisers. You're going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage and accuracy in your favor with this as an inspiration. So anyways, that is a good sniper build to go with for Kuznetsov for this ship. Now, normally, this is where I would talk about a good premium commander to go with. And you got some options. Main battery grouping for each consumable, or Azure Talon's not the best. I wouldn't go with it for this ship. Chapayev increases the chance of enemy ship modules. It's not bad, but honestly, it's not great. Reduce shell switching type, you're never going to do that. Essentially, what I'm trying to tell you is none of these commanders are very useful. Probably Ivan B. Delightful might be your most useful of the bunch, but man, he is also not that great. I mean, essentially, he's just Kuznetsov with a few extras, and like, you can't even use this, and yeah, that's going to help your detectability after, shooting, but your detectability already sucks with this ship, so you're not going to be sticking and moving that easily. I would probably go with Ivan B. Delightful if I was going to show you one, but honestly, it's not even worth showing you. I am going to go with the sniper build with Kuznetsov. That's going to be the way to go. Normally I wouldn't do this. Normally I'd show you the, let's do it with the premium commander. No, I'm going to show you this. All right, well, we're going to throw on the targeting system. We're going to throw on a battle booster flag. That's going to improve our main battery range even fucking more, which is amazing, and speed more. And then finally, a camouflage. That's going to help our detectability, but also, actually this would work really good with the Essex dispersion build as well. But we're going to go with the sniper build on this one. I mean, it'll still help with the detectability range. Not by much, but it will. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so let's go do a battle in this thing, eh? All right, so here we are in the match. It's an arcade match, folks, but if you know anything about Tier 1, I could try to load in an arcade match, or I should say a standard match. At Tier 1, though, I mean, you're going to be waiting, anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, if not longer, to get into a match. And then when it loads up, it's just going to be like you and maybe some other guy basically just playing grab ass around a couple of islands. Usually you don't get very good matchmaking with that, because no one plays Tier 1s. Why would they, right? So instead, we're going to do an arcade. Now, arcade isn't much better either. You're going to be fighting a lot of bots. Like this match, it's basically 4 bots on my team, 4 bots on his team. And this guy, I'm willing to bet, isn't even... Yeah, okay. This isn't going to be a very sporting match, folks. It honestly ain't. I'm just going to keep my distance. I'm going to try to showcase off, like, the ability for this thing to snipe. But this isn't going to be a great match. Alright, we've already spotted the enemy. Of course, that's the guy. I don't like to beat up on low-level players, believe it or not. Trust me, the low-level players, they're dumb, but they're not smarmy like the old-school players are. I should know, I'm one of them. But I try to take it easy on them. They're still starting out in the game. This game kind of lives and dies by the amount of players it has, so why scare them off? I know people frown upon playing Tier 1 when you're higher tier anyway, but I don't see much harm in it, honestly. I like to play all my ships. And honestly, there are some high-level people that play Tier 1, and I love beating up on them very much so. Mainly because, you know, it's like I've said a million times. Whether I've never met you, whether you're my best friend, or whether you're family, the moment you log into this game, you're my sworn enemy. Especially if you're on the blue team, then you really are my fucking sworn enemy. Ooh, there's a Griff. Let's see if we can hit him. Let's see if we can hit him. Well, we're sort of hitting him. Look at these nice arcs, though, folks. That is the nice thing about this ship. It can shoot over islands. I mean, granted, I'm not exactly shooting over islands here, but... Ah, we got the kill! Alright, that is... Oh, no, that's a bot. Alright, I'll take him out. Is that it? No, our human player must be hanging out back somewhere. He might be smarter than he lets on. I'll put it that way. But as you can see, I mean, we're pretty reasonably getting hits from a pretty good distance too. Granted, we're not hitting everything. That's kind of hard to do sometimes. I gotta watch her. I'm gonna be on the border, and that's gonna suck. Like I said, you want to keep this ship moving. You don't want to break your momentum. Alright, fuck it. I'm going to go for that Albany. It's probably going to be the trickier shots to pull off anyway. God damn, man. Alright, so yeah, sniper accuracy build. Look at this greatness. I'm just totally... Jesus. You know, the thing that sucks is I should have just gone with Essex. We're doing a little bit better, but I mean, we ought to be doing. I mean, he's like almost fucking 4 kilometers on us now. Yeah, I should have just played Essex with a dispersion build. Jesus. But still... Still not doing too bad. Alright, where's this guy? He must be hiding. I don't blame him. I'd be scared too. Aha! There he is. You know what? I'm gonna let him take out my teammate. Yeah, get a kill, buddy. Alright, now it's on. I got a few defended. That's nice. Stopped him from taking the base. He's going for C, though. That's the thing that sucks, though, when you've lost all your allies, you really have no one to spot for you. And, you know, the snipers live and die by their spotters. So... not exactly an ideal situation I'm in now, but I am trying to be sporting. This is a very, very low level. Oh, really? You're gonna go for B now? Okay. Well, come over here and I'll fucking hand you your Rudy Poo candy ass. You see, we can kind of see where he is now. He's going to be over on this side of the island, so we can get our guns trained over here. He's not going to be over here. He's going to be over here. Of course, I look away, and then we finally spot him. Oh, that ain't going to be nice. Oh, getting defended ribbons. This is going to be a nice match. You know, as far as tier 1 goes, anyway. Well, we're hitting them now. I mean, we ought to be. We're in spitting distance at this point. Try to focus on his backside. By the way, one of the things that they don't really tell you a lot with the new players is one great strategy for trying to do as much damage to the enemy as possible is each ship is divided into sections, and each section has its own pool of hit points. So you don't want to focus entirely on one section, or else you'll still do damage, you just won't do as much damage. So if you look at him, it looks like you can't really see him that well. But it looks like his bow is pretty fucked up. Now, if I hit him in the bow, it's not going to do nearly as much damage as if I hit him in the stern. Or if I hit him in the midsection. Because it looks like his midsection's doing okay. Oh, I ran in... Oh, jeez, oh, it's fucking amateur hour here. I ran into a fucking island. How embarrassing. I'll still get this guy, don't get me wrong. I'm actually impressed. This guy put up a decent fight considering. Well, we got him in the end. So what do we got? We got 3 kills. That's not bad. Honestly, this isn't a great display of the advantage of this. Truthfully, this is a case of it's a pretty decent ship, but man, your options for commanders kind of blow. But yeah, that's the match. That's what we did. That's how you play the Novik. Best of luck to you. Don't let it discourage you. It is actually a very nice ship. Like I said, it's got some long-range guns. It's not bad. It's definitely worth a play. I'll put it that way. Of a lot of the tier 1 ships, this is probably one of the more fun ones to play, in my opinion. Anyways, that's my guide to playing the Novik. Now you'll be a little bit better when you want to eat potatoes and drink the vodka, or drinking the vodka. Anyways, that's it. I'd like to close things up by giving you, dear viewer, a tiny bit of advice. Now, most of the shit I bloviate on about is really just opinion and bluster, but this is actually semi-sincere. So some of you may have likely noticed that I rarely have any modules purchased for my ships, and I often run them without camos. And I do that because I have a system of updating my ships that is very, very slow, but also very efficient. You'll also likely note that I'm sitting on hundreds of millions of silver that I haven't spent. Most players would consider this a stupid way to play, but that brings me to my point. One thing you should realize about this game is that at least 95% of the player base are moronic assholes that don't have a brain cell between the lot of them. That means if this video gets at least 20 views, only one of you aren't a complete fucking idiot. You know who you are. Good on you for being clever. The only reason I say this is to point out you're going to see and hear a lot of people out there telling you how you need to play your ships. And I'm here to tell you, fuck those assholes. You're the one grinding those ships. It's your time, it's your money, and your account. And don't let any stuffed shirt out there try to tell you how you need to play your game. And that includes me. I might give you some pointers on how to play certain ships or build their commanders, but it's not my place to dictate what you can and can't do with your own fucking ships. Seriously, if you look at posts on Reddit or Facebook or get the occasional message from some salty player, you'll see a lot of this. Stuck-up snobs that think they know everything and demand you play the game how they want you to play the game. You'll get shit like, you shouldn't play ranked matches if you're not running this ship with this commander at this level of ranks, or with these skills. Or you might get, new players shouldn't play tier 7 or higher premiums until you've worked your way up and know what you're doing. Fuck those pricks. Those are your fucking ships, not theirs. You play them however the fuck you feel like playing them. If you want to take an Iowa running a level 4 Gleaves torpedo build, nobody can stop you. I wouldn't advise you doing that, by the way, but I'm not playing your matches for you. Honestly, half the time I see dumb shit in the posts like carriers need to stay out of Wartails, I'll go play some Wartails in my independence just to spite those cocksuckers. And I have fun doing it. I remember a year or so back seeing someone bitching about people bringing Dunkirk into a battleship brawl that they were running at the time, and how you could only play the Andrea Doria or you better stay the fuck out. Naturally, I spent a few hours playing the Dunkirk and brawl, and honestly, I did a really damn good job. It was funny as hell. My point is that you should just play how and what you want to play. Because time is precious, and if you're spending your precious time playing this game, you should at least be having fun and playing how you want to play.
Those that doubt me, suck cock by choice.
I'm just not a hateful or mean kind of a guy. I'm just fucking cheeky, sarcastic and dry. Some say I'm offensive, grotesque and obscene. I just don't give a fuck, and I say what I mean. Just like Amy Schumann, but without the disease. 'Cause it turns out the world's biggest cunt might be